Okay. Hey, everyone. So glad you're here with me today and welcome. While more people are joining, let's wait for them, but let's warm the room up. Drop in the chat where you're joining from, what your role is, and if you're looking for some new connections, drop your LinkedIn too. Why not? So others can connect with you too. We've got a great outbound crowd in here today, I promise you. So I think you can make some great connections. Awesome. Thank you for being active. Hey, everyone. Okay. Wow, that's a crazy chat. Thank you for sharing that. Miami sales. Hello from Boston area. Israel. Nice. Poland. Nice. Denmark. Thank you. Yes, LinkedIn's are coming in. Thank you. Share that. Let's connect. Let's have some networking today as well. Okay, let's give it another minute for folks to come in. And yeah, don't forget to drop your LinkedIn as well if you want to make some connections today. Yes, South Africa, Ohio. Nice. Awesome. All right, great to meet everyone. Fasten your seatbelts. Let's move to the topic of this webinar. And yeah, keep commenting, keep adding your LinkedIns. I will be happy to see these comments. Okay, welcome to the era of AI Outbound, how to stand out in a crowded inbox. Here is the shift we are all feeling right now. Most teams run similar AI, similar playbooks, and pull the same signals. So the outreach starts to look almost identical. Today is about the opposite, how to sound like you and actually get noticed. Quick logistics first. We are running about 40 minutes plus an optional 10 for your questions. Drop them anytime in the special Q&A section. We'll cover them at the end, so please welcome, share all your thoughts in the comments and share your questions in the Q&A section. The session is being recorded, and for those who stay till the end, there is a bonus, so stick around. And here is the next 40 minutes. We'll have three main blocks: messaging, how to not sound like everyone else; signals, how to use the data everyone has differently; and outreach ideas that actually feel personal. Then, as I mentioned, I'll share the bonus with those who will be still online, and we finish with the Q&A. With those items out of the way, I want to tell you a bit about who you're here with today. I'm Olena. I've spent 6+ years in Outbound, two agencies, 200 plus clients. I've sat in every seat. I've been an SDR, I've built my own SDR team, and I've been a GTM strategist slash account manager. And I still send outbound daily. Scan the QR code and connect with me on LinkedIn. I post about outbound every single day, what good outreach looks like, what bad outreach looks like. So follow me for all type of outbound content and be the first to know about our next GTM sessions. And also my DMs are always open, so we'll be happy to chat with you. And recently, I joined Reply /Jason AI to share more about GTM and cold outreach with you. Quick context in case you don't know us: Reply is one of the biggest sales engagement platforms out there. And since today is all about AI, here is my honest recommendation: our very own Jason AI SDR. It books meetings for your sales team on autopilot, and it turns regular SDRs into super SDRs. Check it out if you haven't yet. Awesome. Into the good stuff now. Let's start with a quick warm-up. Two cold emails on your screen. Scan them. Don't read every word. And drop in the chat which one you think AI wrote. Go with your gut. I'll give you 30 seconds. Awesome. Seeing already people answering. Thank you. Okay, a lot of twos. Okay. Great. Both. Okay, interesting. Keep them coming. Share your thoughts. Go with your gut, as I said. Nice. Okay, 10 more seconds and I'll reveal the mystery. Thank you for being active, guys. Appreciate that. Okay, Actually, both of them were written with AI. And personally, I like the first one more, as a lot of you confirmed in the chat. But here's the thing. Around 9 out of 10 cold emails today are written with AI. That's the world we live in now, and it isn't a bad thing. AI is the most powerful tool you have, especially in outbound. But in the hands of someone who knows how to use it, who knows how to stand out, that someone who knows how is what today is about. And that takes us to block one, messaging. First concept, the mental filter. In cold outreach, nobody reads your email and carefully weights it. They scan it and sort it in about 2 seconds. Their brain picks a bucket. Should they actually read it or ignore it? And here is the trap, the personalization everyone reaches for. So you're hiring, congrats on the round, loved your recent post, congrats on the new role. That's exactly what screams AI now. Not because it's wrong, but because it's the same signals pulled by similar tools by almost every team out there. Also, when you don't prompt it smartly, AI writes in patterns that feels too polished and generic. Those patterns are now so common that people recognize them in seconds, even when they can't name what they're seeing. Quick story. Our founder Oleg got so tired of this, he vibe coded his own tool to after clean his inbox. But here's the interesting part. He specifically told the AI to still flag anything that felt genuinely relevant to him or his business. So my idea is the door isn't closed. Be relevant, bring value, and you still get in. That's the whole point. Now, let's read real cold messages from my own inbox and see what's landing and what isn't. There will be 4 examples. I'll walk you through 3, and the last one will be left for your judgment. Again, we'll have some quick warm-up. And while we go, if you agree, disagree, or spot a pattern I don't mention, please drop in the chat. I'd love that discussion. Let's go. I'll give you 20 seconds to read this one. So please, again, scan it, read it, like whatever, but have your opinion on that. A couple of more seconds. If you already have your comments, also please comment what you like about it, what you don't like about it. Okay, my opinion now. What I like. There is a real pain point in here that does resonate, and they offered something tangible before asking for a meeting. So the CTA is good. Now the misses. It opens with my engagement on someone else's post, technically personalized, but the pitch after has nothing to do with that opener. So it reads as personalization for its own sake. And my honest question as a reader would be, why should I care? Why should I keep reading? I do recommend engagement openers, but for LinkedIn outreach mostly, and or when it's your own post they engaged with, that works perfectly well. Random engagement your tool scraped doesn't. And I see some comments. Great, thank you for that. Too long. Okay, I can see it's not simple. Okay, fair. Yeah, again, like that's fair. Leave your comments. Let's look to this the second one. Again, I'm pausing myself 20 seconds to read this one. Some people are super rough, like ban again instantly. Yeah, too long. Yeah, like long emails are not performing as they used to, right? Yeah, slope. Okay. I love your comments. Thank you for being active. Nice. Okay, let me share my opinion now. What I like, it offers value before asking for anything. A lead magnet, a playbook that works extremely well in outbound now, and I use it a lot myself, so like plus for that. But as a lot of you mentioned, AI slope, the sentence structure gives it away. The opener, negation pivots, M dashes, you see them all the way through, and it looks like AI wrote these. Let me know, yeah, like if you agree, but I already saw your comments on that. We'll go through the full pattern list in a few minutes. And once you see this, you can't really unsee it. And one sneak peek from our future session with our deliverability expert, look at the unsubscribe line at the end. It asks you to reply unsubscribe. Don't do that. Ask for no or not interested instead, because Google's filters read that word badly and you really don't want your own responders generating it for you. So be careful with that. Okay, next one. Let me give you a quick context before you read this one. Our head of growth received this exact email, so go on, read it. Too short, yeah. It's hard to find this, like the perfect scenario where everyone will like your email. Okay, I'm intrigued. Some of you say it's interesting. Best so far. Okay. Quick question. No one wants you to answer your question. I agree. Like, yeah, I used that a lot. I used to use it in my cold emails, but then, yeah, I understood that like it doesn't get me the responses I want. It's in spam. Yeah, good one. Agree. Okay. Okay. Overall, I like it. It's short, punchy, very easy to scan, straight to the point. That part is good. But it says, I saw you're looking into email deliverability. Looking into where? Like, deliverability isn't even this person's job. As I mentioned, like our head of growth receive it. Could have been a site visit, a post, a video. Like, we have no idea. So it doesn't feel relevant. You could send that exact line to anyone. And the deeper miss, it went to reply. Sales enablement is our whole thing. Deliverability is part of what we do. We have the whole department on this. 30 seconds of research would have shown that. And this is where AI should be helping you, checking out your leads, steering them, making sure your offer is relevant to your ICP. So the one pillar under every cold email with AI or without is be relevant. Last message, and this one is yours. Read it and tell me in the chat what's good here and what would stop you from replying, what would make you delete it. I'll give you a minute, take your time, and yeah, I'm reading the chat. Long dash, yep. That's the pain of this year, I guess. Way too much, okay. Too long again, yeah? Too much to read. It's not just, it's yep. Thank you, thank you. Like 20 seconds more, share your comments and we will go to my opinion. Too many bullet points. Interesting, yeah. Agree. Like three, I would say the perfect number, I guess. Like four is already like feels too much. Okay. Nice, nice. Thank you, guys. Uh, yes, emoji from the LinkedIn name. Okay, you basically said everything I was to be saying, but let's go to the next slide. Okay. What I like, again, you see, like in every email, I'm trying to find some silver lining, something that is good about it. In this case, they use real numbers. Am I sure I believe them? Not entirely, but let's give them the benefit of the doubt. At least there is something concrete in here, and I personally prefer that in cold outreach. Now, the same pattern as we already mentioned earlier, it opens with my post, then pitches an offer that has nothing to do with that opener. Personalization in sake of personalization. Don't do that. Again, I'm sitting there like thinking, why should I care about like the offer itself, right? Then the small misses, and there are three. Now, my first name isn't cleaned up, and this is place where AI genuinely helps you, as a lot of you mentioned. In reply, for example, we have this AI variable that cleans it automatically, so you can be sure that like nothing like this goes out of your name. Two M dashes and negation pivots, like a lot of you mentioned that. Both scream AI wrote these. And three, it asks for a meeting straight in the CTA with nothing offered first. Don't do that in cold outreach, please. It doesn't work, unfortunately, currently. So, to my opinion, this message isn't getting many positive replies. I guess you have the same one, but yeah, share in the comments. Yeah, like Ukrainian flag isn't personalized. It's how my name is on the LinkedIn. So like it's super, like lazy, yeah, lead check or something like that, unfortunately. And let's look what a good cold message looks like. I'll give you 50 seconds again to scan it, to read it. Quick context. This is a real example JSON AI wrote for reply's own ICP with the real reply it got. You can find it in the end. You can see that the opener is actually relevant to the offer. It's specific, it speaks the lead's language, and it shows we understand their business. Also, the speed of the response is amazing. It took only 4 hours to receive this positive. As a former SDR, I love such cases, of course. And let's look at the second example. 50 seconds as well. It shows credibility. Yep. Too much personalization again. You see, like, yeah, it either no personalization at all or too much, but it happens. Yeah, but at least it was relevant. Okay. So in this case, you see deep context, deep personalization, which is connected with the page that follows. That's the whole point of AI personalization. It has to connect to what you're about to pitch. And before we go to the next slide, quick reminder to drop your questions anytime in the Q&A section. Thank you for that. Now the fun part, AI's favorite phrases, the ones that instantly trigger my mental filter. I won't read them all there on the screen. You can scan them. Let's look at them together. And let's be honest, it's unfair. Most of us used this long before AI even existed. I say unpopular opinion all the time. I used to say, you see, the problem is AI uses them so much now that we've been trained to read them as AI, even when a human wrote them. Not fair, but it's our reality. So I cut them from my cold emails completely and even from my everyday communication. Your turn, drop in the chat the phrases you'd add, what trips your filter, and what instantly screams to you that it was AI written. Honestly, yep, agree. Unfortunately. Quietly, perfectly normal, okay, but not now. No drama, yep. M dashes, of course. Genuinely, yeah, yeah. More six, yep. Yeah, you see, like we all see them. I hope you're doing great. Yeah. Okay. Also for me, I don't know what about you guys. Tell me in the comments. But from my end, whenever I see on LinkedIn comment, like someone commenting, "This is spot on," I can't unsee the fact that it was written with AI. So like for me, spot on is also very AI generated, unfortunately. Emojis, why? No, I like to use emojis. So sorry, I don't agree with that. Okay, stays with me. I keep thinking about. Yep, nice. Thanks for sharing that. Okay. One more pattern, the rule of three. AI loves things in threes. Three short parallel sentences. As you can see on the example on the screen, you feel it before you can name it. Something just off. The fix is simple. Break the pattern and watch your sentence's length. AI rarely mixes it. It goes all short or all long. Humans mix. Go read an email you wrote in 2021, you'll see it immediately. So break the pattern. The other big tell is missing context. So be specific. People remember real numbers and real situation. A while becomes 9 months, better results becomes 5% higher reply rate. And that's usually a prompting problem. So always add numbers, your context, and your expertise. Which brings me to voice. You're a specific human. You open a certain way. You've got phrases you always use. Me, I say hey, hey instead of hi. I use abbreviations even in cold email. That's what makes me sound like me and not a machine. At the agencies I worked at, job one with a new client was always to listen to how they talk. We'd read their internal team chats, their internal emails, and bake that into the outreach. That's how you stand out. And that's exactly why in JSON, we start by building a custom playbook. You teach it your tone, your opinion, how you trade things, and it scales your voice instead of generic one. The part I love the most, you don't have to keep reteaching it. Make the same kind of fix twice, and JSON turns it into a rule. It applies to every message after that. You're not updating playbooks forever. It does that for you. Literally what we need AI for, right? And a bonus note, always add your POV. AI almost never disagrees unless you ask it to. So a message with a real opinion in it always reads as human. And one more thing on voice, and this one is bigger than tone. Your voice isn't only yours, it's your industry's. Every niche has its own way of describing problems and its own idea of what a good message looks like. Take lawyers. The common assumption is that they want long, detailed, grounded messages because they work with contracts, they're used to that, and they work on precision all day. From my own experience, the opposite is true. They already spent their day reading long documents. One more long read from a stranger is the fastest way to get ignored. 3 short sentences clear about what you want from them get far more replies. So before you write to a niche, understand its context, how they talk, how they describe problems, what they're tired of. And this is where JSON playbooks can help you. They generate of your actual business context, your industry, your ICP, instead of generic best practices. On the first screenshot on the right, you can see how it's built, and below you can see the final result. You can edit it, but you have solid basic to start with. Now, block 2, signals. Most teams are running tools on the same data, so that can be your advantage anymore. The only real advantage is a data set or a relationship nobody else has. Which brings me to my favorite approach in Outbound right now, using signals you already own. Website and profile visitors, people who engage with your LinkedIn posts, your followers, your competitors' followers on LinkedIn. And my favorite, which works every single time, people who used to work at a company you've served. They switch jobs. You reach out, you mention that history, and believe me, they notice such an email. In reply, a lot of this is built in. You can pull your LinkedIn post engager straight into a sequence and leads get added automatically. So my recommendation in general would be to always zoom out and ask yourself, what signals does only my company own? Then build your next strategy on this. And you don't just own signals, you can invent them. Outreach is becoming a genuinely creative job. My favorite example from my own portfolio, a maintenance platform for care homes. We used AI to check the government registry for homes that had just failed a safety inspection, scrape that list, and reach out with exactly that context. We saw the inspection, here is how we keep you ready for the next one. Super relevant at the exact moment it mattered to them. Second example, and I'll be going much deeper on this at our next session on September 3rd, treat every reply as data nobody else has. Someone tells you they already have a competitor, that's gold. Reach out to their colleagues with it in hand. We know you're on X, here how we compare. So your pipeline is becoming data nobody else has. So use it. Next slide. Okay, let me look in the questions. What is a signal? Like the thing that makes you reach out to them and say, this is the right time for you to use our product, like some indication that they are ready to buy. And how would you approach a senior executive at a bank? It depends. I'm sorry, but like, yeah, it depends all the time on the bank size, right? Like how high is the executive on the decision-making ladder. But let's say it should be the general rule, it should be short, easy to read, and like, they should understand what you want from them in like a couple of seconds. Again, like the brain chemistry I mentioned before, like 2 seconds, and they choose whether they should read it or not. Like you should grab their attention from the very first opener. Okay, and AI made personalization basically free, which means it's worth very little now. The same signals are everywhere, as I mentioned. What still works is a message that proves you understand their situations and shows what doing nothing is costing them. Say the signal is we are expanding into a new market. The obvious line is so you're launching in the US and then pitching. Everyone sends that. What stands out is attaching a timeline and the cost to the problem. Teams often burn 6 to 9 months, You see the example on the screen. So every time you write a copy, ask yourself, what happens if they wait another 3 months, another 6? That framing makes you the expert they want to talk to. One more thing that helps a lot, pay attention to the demos you already have. Put the transcript into AI, analyze them with AI, and pull the actual language your buyers use into your messaging. Also pay attention to the problems they mentioned, pain points, like you name it, but like use AI here and analyze it and bake that into your outreach. Drop in the chat if you have tried that. Curious how many people are doing it. Okay. And timing decides a lot. Don't overthink the copy. React with the signal while it's hot. That's a lesson I learned the hard way. A decent email the day they post we are hiring 5 sales reps globally beats a perfect one a week later. That's because signals have a half-life. You wait too long and you miss the window where your message was actually relevant. We're slow because a human has to notice, research, and write. That's the loop exactly to automate. In JSON, the signal fires, the sequence builds, and the draft is written. Your job is still to review, like tweak, and approve. And there is a reply mobile app now, QR on the screen, so you can do that from a taxi. That's pretty cool, right? Okay, let me quickly look at the questions. Yeah, presentation will be shared. Yep, thank you for sharing that you analyze your transcripts with AI. Very useful. Okay, awesome. Last blog for today, outreach ideas that actually feel personal. Voice messages. On LinkedIn, in reply, you can pre-record your own or have JSON generate a personalized one for every single lead. Almost nobody using this in outreach currently, so it stands out immediately. It feels human, so do recommend incorporating that into your outreach if you haven't yet. LinkedIn warm-up. Engage your top 100 leads posts before you email them. They've seen your face before you show up, and it leaves reply rates. At least like their posts. It can be easily automated. The best you can do, leave a comment. And just today, Reply product team shipped the coolest feature. Reply can now generate and post a genuinely personalized LinkedIn comment on a prospect's latest post automatically. So you can automate even that step now. And generally, I do recommend running multi-channel, email, LinkedIn, calling as a one system. Again, all of it can run inside a single reply sequence, so it's super easy to manage and track. Number two, new geos. Number three, new geos. The US is overcrowded. I know everyone wants US market, but it is our overcrowded. Like Jason speaks 50 plus languages, so you can go native in markets nobody is touching. I've tested this with a lot of clients, believe me, across very different niches. Native outreach works incredibly efficient, so do try this out. And the last one, private dinners or face-to-face CTAs. I'll be honest, this one may sound obvious until you do try it. The times I offered my clients a real in-person meeting CTA instead of a quick call, they were genuinely surprised someone still does that or does it at all. But it brought us great results, especially in niches and campaigns that already felt like a dead end. In inbox full of let's hop on a 50-minute call, a real human offer stands out. Drop in the chat if you tried any of these and whether it worked. I will be happy to see that. Yep. Follow with a native outreach. You mean like how do you proceed conversation with this kind of outreach? If it is what you mean, the trick is like simple, be human and say that was like one option is say like that was to catch your eye, like would it be okay for us to continue in English? In other cases, we use this trick that we mentioned that in the messaging. Like, for example, we used to translate the opener to stand out in their inbox in their native language. And then we will be saying something like, okay, now I'm switching to English because like it's not my like first language or something like that. And then you proceed with English. But like this stands out in the inbox. So I do recommend trying this out. Okay. Yeah, so example of native I've shared. Yeah, in terms of like voice, you didn't like how AI sounded or the personal, like it depends on the person. Again, like someone doesn't like cold outreach at all. Some people do business out of that, right? So like it depends. But when I receive voice message on LinkedIn, I always listen to it, right? So like I will always like listen at least. So and that's the job after what they are offering me. Okay, it was obvious that it was AI generated. Okay, but I guess it will be becoming better and better every month, maybe every day even. But yeah, again, worth trying. At least try to pre-record yours and like compare how it works compared to just simple messaging. Yeah, as I said, like I always listen to voice messages when I receive them. Okay, that's the session. The bonus for staying, I'm dropping a link in the chat right now. It's a prompt with everything we covered today, pasted into your AI, and it writes in your voice. This one is going only in the chat, so grab it now if you want it. One sec, sharing with you right now. Here you go. I hope it will be useful. Okay, one sec. I'll answer the question in a second. I saw your question, Tiago. Yeah, so before questions, our next session, it's called the pipeline cleanup that books meetings. We'll go into re-engaging leads who went quiet, why not now in March is a deal in September, and what to do after a reply that isn't a yes. Real sequences, real examples. Sharing the link now as well. One sec. Here you go. Yeah, so do register. It will be very useful for anyone out there working with leads, pipeline, sales cycles. So yeah, I'd love to see you there. And another question asked from my end is if you have any ideas for other outbound topic that might be interesting to you, share them in the chat. I will also be happy to conduct these on our next webinars. And let's start with Q&A session. Let me go to your questions. I remember Tiago's question. One sec. Okay, and now I can't find it. One sec. Sorry. Deliverability. Okay. Yep. I know. Deliverability will be there. It will be the third session, like in September. I'll make sure to update it. So like, do subscribe on, like, follow me on LinkedIn. I will be posting all our GTM sessions. Okay. One sec. It was something about open rate, and now I can't. Yeah, okay. What is an average open and reply rate you would consider good nowadays? First of all, open rates. Unfortunately, we have to forget about them. Like, we don't track. I personally don't track them. Agencies I worked at, like, we were very skeptical about that. Yeah, like it. And we will be going more about that in more detail on our dealerability webinar, like our dealerability session. So yeah, make sure to follow this one, but don't track open rates. My recommendation would be the first one. And reply rates, it again depends on the niche, on your ICP, but I would say something between 2% to 5% is a very good reply rate. It makes it shows that, like, the offer is relevant and you receive some feedback. Another thing, like another real important thing that I would track is interesting reply rate. Like, among of all the replies, how many people are genuinely interested in your offer. So that's something to also track. And that again will vary from your offer and your messaging, right? Okay, one sec. Can you recover if you be landing in promotion spam? Yes, and actually that will be recommendation, because nowadays everyone is running after new domains, like new mailboxes, right? But like, try to recover it, because it will give you more credibility. Again, in more details, we'll be discussing this on our dealerability session with our dealerability expert. So it will be super interesting. Okay, how long should a cold email be in 2026? As we already saw, like, long emails don't work anymore. Like, even you said, like, it's too long, right? And like, genuinely, they weren't too long from my experience. I saw a lot of longer emails, right? So I would say it should be mobile friendly, right? Because everyone now uses phone to check their emails. So like, double check that any tool out there does that, but Reply for sure does that. Like, you can preview it as a mobile version, and you can see whether it's friendly, and that will be your answer. If it's like can be fitted in the screen, like, that's a good length. Signals. Okay. Please give some advice on the signal for a new company service that does not have yet its own data. Okay, interesting one. Again, you see, like, it depends on the like your niche, your product. So it's very yeah, like it's very unique for every situation. But I would say track people, how long they are at the company, what their role is, were they promoted, were they changing the role. So like, that can be highlighted in the messaging. But again, it should be relevant to the offer, right? So like, don't do just like, I saw you change jobs, and then you're pitching something completely different that has nothing to do with that signal. So try to connect that. Again, all these other signals that are indicating that your offer making sense now to the lead. So yeah, that should be relevant. Why would clicks or tracking or open tracking not be worth checking? Because basically now almost every filter tool on the mailboxes fakes the open and like click track. So like, your stats will show you 100% open rate, 100% click rate. In reality, that data shows you nothing, because that's fake, right? So that's not, I would say, a rule, but that's my recommendation. Don't track it. The thing that you should be going after is reply rate, interesting reply rate. That would really make sense. Open rates are not really true, unfortunately, nowadays. Okay, wow, a lot of questions. Great. Okay, we have some couple of minutes more to answer them. So let's go. How to measure the efficiency of an email comment? Alright, as mentioned, reply rate, interesting reply rate. Also, like, how many like replies are converting to a meeting. So like our like end goal, right, always is to get a meeting out of the cold outreach. So yeah, like how many meetings you're receiving from this cold outreach. Becomes the norm. We need a new way to stand out. Yes, Darko, I agree completely. Like, as you see, like I've been here in Outbound for 6 years. Every year, someone on LinkedIn is announcing that cold outreach is dead, right? Like every year, like every month even. So everything is changing so fast. Like, and that's the beauty of this job, I guess, because you have to constantly learn, to constantly test things out. So that's what makes me motivated and like staying in this job, because you're never bored. So yeah, like everything will be changing, and yeah, we have to adapt. Is there a way I can contact you directly with a question of? Yes, of course. Like my LinkedIn page. Let me just maybe go here, like scan the. Oh, sorry, like not this one. Okay, this is the first slide. Let me go here. You can scan the QR code and you can follow me. You can DM me. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. And if you're interested in a demo booked, I will jump to another like slide. You can also scan the QR code and get a demo booked with our team. Whether it's good, bad. Do you on reply or with Jason have a capability for it for reviewable? Like yes, first of all, the concept of JSON AI is very important, because like you basically can be running it on copilot mode. So like it generates a message and you can view it and like regenerate or add some of your like suggestions. So that's the beauty of it. Like we never say that AI will get your job away or like substitute you, right? Like AI like helps you in this case. Like it makes you super SDR. It helps you to do the boring job, or like helps you to scale your outbound, right? But it's never about like just taking our jobs. Like SDR job, like sales job will be there, guys. That's my belief. What should you suggest for a subject line? Yeah, subject lines are tricky. Again, depends very much on who you're reaching out to, but my suggestions would be always test things, like run A/B testing. But not only because I saw so many teams running A/B tests just in sake of it. Like we have it, right? But actually teams analyzing it, like having real data, like sitting there and analyzing what works, what doesn't, like not a lot of teams are doing that. So my suggestion is always be run 5 subject lines at a time, like, and see what's resonating, what's working, and then don't forget to change them, because like we constantly have to change our content. Okay. Any hacks to increase reply rate? I mean, we mentioned some of them here, right? And also my recommendation will be subscribe to our sessions, and I will be making sure to sharing this with you. Like all the hacks I know, I will be sharing them constantly. So yeah, do follow us. For service, do you know what's an average percent on cold email success? Like 1% free? Like, what do you mean? Like, if you can you please drop what do you mean by the cold email success? Reply rate, or like how many people booked the meeting from that? Anything above 4 is good. Okay, if reply rate, yeah, like I mean, 4% reply rate, 5% reply rate is very good result for cold outreach. Like if it's completely cold outreach, that's very good result. Yep. Do you want replies or you want new clients? Okay, yeah, like I see that there's already a discussion in the comments. I love that. Yeah, as I promised you, like we have a great outbound crowd in here today, so like you can also answer a question and share your opinions. Okay, how many deliveries make a good A/B test? Good question, William. I always, again, it depends on you. Sorry, I say that a lot, but it does. Like I work, as I mentioned, with 200 plus clients, and every client is so different. Every niche is so different. But on average, I would say that like 200 like emails would already show you some stats, but for me to make sure that my test was valid, I would say it's 400 emails for me to make some conclusions. Yeah. Replies don't necessarily mean new clients, of course, but replies means you have some data you can work on, and that will be our next session. That would be about. Do you want links for meetings, gifts for events in your cold outreach? Gifts for events, that's a very good tactics. Like I like these. Links for meetings, like booking links, I don't recommend to put that into your cold outreach. Once they respond to you, you can share any links. In cold outreach, don't paste your links because it affects deliverability. Okay, 2 minutes more and like we have to finish, but I love your question. Thank you very much. Okay, how can we build guardrails for compliance in highly regulated insurance markets? That's super. Like, highly regulated markets are very tricky, and I guess that's also a very good topic for a separate session, I would say, because I have some tips for this market. And yeah, like let me put a note and I'll make sure that we will have a separate session on that because yeah, that's like I reached out to a lot of banks out there, insurance companies. They're tricky to sell your product, but also depends on what you're selling to them. But yeah, it's tricky one. Okay. Buttons for links or just text links, whatever. Like links, don't paste them. Yes, like exactly. Clicking the links is very tricky because it's like it feels phishing or something like that. People are very careful with that. So I never suggest my clients to put the links into like our cold outreach. Personalized landing page links in emails. Again, I wouldn't recommend that, but if you're willing to test this out, I do recommend testing this out because if you don't try, you never know, right? So like in cold outreach, you have to try, you have to A/B test. So I would say offering to send the link, and once they respond to you, then you send the link. That would be the safest option. But again, why not? Try this out. Like sometimes it can work. Yep. Good perspective. Yep, agree. Contacted per month to get a booked meeting. Service companies. Average number of prospects contacted per month to get a booked meeting. Sorry, like again, you said service companies, but depends, right? There are lots of types of service companies. I would say that you should be able to book a meeting out of 200 cold leads. Like if you don't book any meeting, that already is signal that something is off, right? So yeah, like by 200 leads should generate it for you. Maybe start with analyzing more replies, and then out of the replies of how many of these replies you're receiving positive responses, and then converting them to a meeting. Because with a meeting, it can be tricky because not a lot of people instantly say, yes, I'm ready to book, right? You have to also perform an SDR work to book sometimes. So like that also can be affecting the results. Okay. Graphics as in an email. You see, yeah, like I also had a lot of clients who were like, okay, let's put a picture, let's put a link in the cold emails. Unfortunately, like in 2026, we have to be super careful with deliverability and we have to have only plain text. So yeah, like try not to put anything unless like it's super yeah, important or something like that. But like text only, that would be my suggestion. Okay, okay, guys, like let's wrap up that session. Like if I haven't answered your question, please DM me on LinkedIn. I would be happy to answer it. And also, like, yeah, as I said, like scan this one or scan this one if you want to already book a session with our like AEs so they can give you a demo of Reply or JSON AI. So yeah, like we will be happy to help you and subscribe to our calendar in Luma. We will be sharing more of such sessions in the future. So I will be happy to sharing this with you every month. So yeah, subscribe. Thanks for spending this time with me today. As I said, like, yeah, I answer DMs, so reach out to me. Was happy to answer all your questions. And yeah, have a good one. Thank you, team.